This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Sponsors. Frequency Pictures is a full-service film production company creating content for clients in a variety of mediums such as worldwide commercial spots, narrative feature films, and new media web content. And Southwest Gas. Founded in 1931, Southwest Gas has been providing natural gas to Nevada, Arizona, and portions of California. The company is dedicated to providing a clean, essential, and sustainable energy future. So let's take a look. Thank you so much to Frequency Pictures, and thank you to our platinum sponsor, Southwest Gas, for all of your support. Now, I know many of you are familiar with the Vegas Chamber's annual Washington, D.C. fly-in. Registration is now open for this prestigious event in September. Learn more now on how you can be involved.
Our nation's capital on the Vegas Chamber's Washington, D.C. fly-in. We've had an unparalleled week representing the voice of Nevada. Surrounded by American history, we are here, not just witnessing, but making history for our beloved state. It's been a journey of creating lasting memories, forging new friendships, and connecting with fellow Nevada business leaders outside the typical boardroom. This week has been filled with engagement, diving deep with think tanks, collaborating with policy experts, and strengthening our bond with the Nevada delegation. Being here, speaking with one collective voice for Nevada, has been of paramount importance. It's our duty to ensure that the pulse and priorities of our state are heard in Washington, D.C. Thank you for being a part of this monumental moment. Together, we're taking care of business.
We love that. You all can clap. Don't worry. We enjoy that. I know everyone's still making their way inside, but to those right now who can hear me and are seated, it is time to take a look at what's ahead for Southern Nevada's future with Major League Baseball. I'm looking forward to this one. I know a lot of you are as well. With Major League Baseball making its way to the greatest arena on earth, this next conversation will explore the potential impacts and opportunities that the A's in Vegas will bring the city and the sport. Please welcome back Vegas Chamber President and CEO Mary Beth with a very special guest, A's owner, John Fisher.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd.
Thank you. Well, John Fisher, thank you so much for being with us today. I am so thrilled to have you on the Preview Las Vegas stage. And may I be the first to publicly welcome you and the A's to Las Vegas. Welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
You know, I know that you've done just a tremendous amount of work to make this happen. And I know that your family is very passionate about baseball. And really, baseball is kind of the fabric of our community, really. It's the fabric of America. I told you a story a little earlier about sitting on the porch with my grandfather watching or listening. We didn't have a television. We were listening to radio, KMOX radio in St. Louis, and Jack Buck was calling the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals, you know? And then Sibley Scholes, Sibley didn't tell you guys this, but Sibley's parents at ages 15 and 17 actually met at an A's baseball game. I mean, what does it mean to you to hear stories like that, knowing your family's engagement in baseball, but then also to be coming to a world-class destination like Las Vegas?
Well, thanks, MB. First, it's a real pleasure to be here. I don't normally get this opportunity to speak in front of so many people, and although I did get to give the Father of the Bride speech last Sunday, but it was a slightly smaller crowd. But it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks to you, thanks to the Chamber for having us and being such great hosts for the A's coming to Vegas. My connection to baseball goes way back. My grandfather on my dad's side was actually a bat boy when he was, I think, 5 years old, and I have a picture of him with sort of the minor league players around him. And my grandparents started taking my brothers and me to Giants games at Candlestick when we were, very, very young. So the connection to baseball, as you described, is something that really brings all generations together, brings families together, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a whether you win or you lose. The great thing about baseball is we play so many games
Right.
that there's always a game the next day to make up for that loss, or to not enjoy the victory for too long.
Yeah. Well, I know it's been a lot of work for you and your team and a lot of folks here in Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada. Give us a little bit of a lay of the land. What's the status of the team, and what are you in the process of right now?
So actually, yesterday we had a meeting with our general contractors, Mortensen McCarthy, as well as our designer and Bjarke Ingels Group, and HNTB, which was the architect of Allegiant, or one of the architects of Allegiant. And so we're moving at speed, trying to move into the schematic design phase, and so that we can hopefully open our ballpark in 2028.
Yeah, and we're counting the days till 2028. And I know that there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, but I guess I would ask too, we watched the videos of Las Vegas. We were just back there commenting and watching the videos, and it's kind of surreal to see all of the things that happen here in Las Vegas. What made you select Las Vegas in the first place?
I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. I grew up in California in the Bay Area, and my understanding of Las Vegas was similar to a lot of tourists' understanding, that it was all about the Strip. But then when I started coming back here and really getting to know the community and spending time off the Strip, whether it be downtown or out at Summerlin or Henderson or other communities in and around Las Vegas, I think what got me most excited was actually the strength of the local market. And because it's something that not everybody from outside Las Vegas understands or appreciates. But there's 2.3 million people here. It feels like all of them are baseball fans, which is a really great thing. Little League is a huge part of this community. And just seeing how the other professional sports teams, whether it be the Aces and the Raiders or the Golden Knights, the degree of local support has just been incredible. I've been to a couple of Golden Knights games, and I couldn't even hear myself talk over the excitement from what was a predominantly local group of fans.
Oh, absolutely. We love our Vegas Golden Knights here. Once upon a time they said, oh, hockey in the desert, you can't do that. And here we are.
Yeah.
So I think that bodes well for A's baseball, and we're really looking forward to having you all here. What would you say are some of your goals for the Athletics in Las Vegas? I know you have a lot of philanthropic efforts as well. So what are some of the things that you have on tap for the community?
Sure. So I think for a sports team, or really any corporation, any business to be successful, you really need to engage and become part of the local community. And so, that's an important goal of ours. We started out by actually funding recently every Little League team in the state of Nevada, because we think ultimately, the success of the A's is going to depend upon the community really embracing us and feeling like we are a part of the community. Seeing in particular how the Golden Knights have really done that is a great example for us to look up to. Bill Foley's done a fantastic job there in really connecting with the community. My family's been mostly involved philanthropically in California and in the Bay Area in particular, with supporting civic institutions, whether it be museums or hospitals or education. And it's really important to me personally and to my family as well that we take that embracing of the community to our new community in Las Vegas. So I'm really looking forward to really learning what are the issues that are facing this community and seeing if I can, work with partners to try and bring about positive change.
Well, excellent. We're really looking forward to that. And you're right. You hit the nail on the head when you talk about the philanthropic efforts of, for example, the VGK and the ways they give back, the Raiders, of course, aviators, Aces. Everybody really digs into our community. And I think that maybe you sort of alluded to this, but it might surprise some folks who are not necessarily from here to understand how really ingrained and community-oriented we are here in Las Vegas and in Nevada as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. The A's obviously are a very historic baseball franchise. We started in 1901, and our history is really important to us as a team. We've won 9 World Series. The A's have had a degree of success that has been, really a great example. But what I've seen in the Golden Knights, and comparing that with the Raiders like us kept the Raiders' name, and so they've worked really, really hard to incorporate both the historical component of the team, but also make sure that the local community feels like it's our team, their team. And so that's something we really want to focus on. I mean, I think we feel like the history of the A's is something that we think is to be celebrated, but it's also something that we want the Athletics to be the Las Vegas Athletics.
Oh, that would be great. That has a nice ring to it.
It does.
It does. We mentioned the Aviators just a moment ago. How will the A's move to Las Vegas impact the Aviators, if at all?
Shout out to the Aviators. They are a tremendous franchise, and
yeah, nice.
And to Don Logan, wherever you are, we love you, Don. They've done just a fantastic job. Their stadium out in Summerlin is just an incredible facility, and so we're really excited from the very beginning. It was important to us to think about how can we create a positive partnership between the Aviators, who are our AAA affiliate, and the Athletics. I think actually there's a view throughout Major League Baseball that being more proximate to your AAA affiliate is actually a real positive. So you see the Twins have their AAA team in St. Paul, and we'll have our AAA team in Summerlin. And the ability for fans to embrace their young players like Tyler Soderstrom, and follow him as he advances from being in the AAA ballpark to 20 minutes away to going onto the Strip to play in our ballpark is something that we think really humanizes us and connects us to families in a positive way.
Well, speaking of connecting to families and the players and so forth, we love it when our players here locally go out into the community. Will the A's players be able to do that as well in some capacity?
I've really seen how Raiders players, Aces players, and also Golden Knights players have been so welcomed into the community. And how they have welcomed the community as well. This is a great place for people to live. It's very affordable in some places, and so I think that we're excited about the ability for our players to really embrace this community and vice versa.
Well, and speaking of the players, and you mentioned our youth here in Southern Nevada, we do have a video that you all have put together that we'd like to share with our audience today.
Great.
Can't wait for A's baseball here in Las Vegas. For new records, the perfect hot dog.
Or maybe not a hot dog.
You can't wait. Home runs. The 7th inning stretch. The home run derby. Chill.
The World Series.
The World Series. The World Series. The merch.
We can't wait to come there and kick your
A's, the Las Vegas Athletics.
We can't wait to be in the big leagues. Vegas, baby.
So our kiddos are obviously very excited about having the A's here. From a business standpoint, how would you describe, I mean, for most of us, I personally don't have any idea what it takes to run a successful baseball team. Give us a little bit of an idea about what it is you do, how you're going to make the A's successful here in Las Vegas, and maybe what we can look forward to.
Sure. Well, I would say, I don't know whether it starts or ends with, having a great place to play.
Yeah.
For the last literally close to 20 years, we've been working on trying to develop a new facility to support the Athletics. The Coliseum was a great facility for a long time, but now it's one of the oldest facilities in baseball. And so the ability to, as you've seen since the advent of sort of the newest ballparks starting in the 80s with Camden Yards for Baltimore, you've seen that new facilities, especially facilities located, within walking distance to a large number of people in downtowns, or creating their own sort of downtown through ballpark villages, have been able to drive a lot of success. It all kind of comes with fan engagement, and a big part of that is making sure that your home is a place that people really want to come to. The second piece of that, of course, is you have to have a great team, and the two really go hand in hand. It doesn't matter how great your facility is, if you don't have a good team, you're not giving the fans really what they want, what they deserve. And if you have a great team, it it allows you to do a lot more things in your facility, and to frankly drive revenues, and ultimately revenues lead to higher payrolls, and ability to keep your younger players longer, hopefully for many of them for their whole careers. And that's just something that the A's have not been able to accomplish for a very long time.
Well, we look forward to having the A's baseball here in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas A's, as you put it. That does wrap up our time for our conversation. Mr. John Fisher, owner of what will be the Las Vegas A's, thank you so much for being on the preview stage today, and thank you for coming to Las Vegas.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
It's great.
Just go this way.
Let's give it up one more time for Mary Beth and John Fisher, please. The Las Vegas A's. We like the sound of that, right, Vegas? Yeah? Yes? Are we alive back there, Las Vegas? How we feeling? Okay, we already know the Vegas sports economy is really skyrocketing, so it is a great time right now for...
You've been watching breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.